Hello YouTube, how you doing? Yeah, I want to talk about money again. I talked a little bit about money in my last video. Okay, so but why not? Okay, because right, I've always thought that there's 24 hours in a day, and on average we're asleep for 8 hours. That's 1/3 of the day, and that leaves 2/3. Okay, 8 hour segments. Okay, so it usually goes like this. You sleep for 8 hours. 8 hours is for odds and sods, bits and pieces. Okay, and 8 hours is for earning money to fund the 8 hours. So you live for 8 hours a day. All right, because you're not living when you're asleep. You're asleep. You're not living when you're at work, because you don't want to go to your work. Some of you are very lucky in that you have a job that you love, but not most of us. Most of us go to work to fund that 8 hours a day that we're free. And are we free? Well, not really. Of that 8 hours a day that we're free, you're having a shower, you're going to the toilet, you're getting your groceries, you're paying your bills, you're doing your housework, running errands. So what's life all about then, really? Okay, you're asleep for 8, you're working for 8 to pay for that remaining 8. Okay, now that's not 7 days a week. You've got 2 days off that's free. But how long do you spend in the supermarket getting your groceries, cooking? That's another thing. So I don't think we're really free for 8 hours a day, are we? Life is short, and when you put it into perspective like that, it's bloody short, and it's a bit depressing. But I'm not a depression monger. Okay, I'm very happy in my life, and I hope you are too. But what I want to talk about is money, alright? Because if we spend 8 hours a day, 1/3 of our lives, working to fund our lives, alright, what lives we have control of, what parts of our lives that we have free will in, okay, then, it's worth talking about, isn't it? So, anyway, money, it is an interesting topic. What is money exactly? It is nothing, is what it is. Now, I've talked about this previously, I don't want to repeat myself, but something occurred to me which is quite amusing. Okay, very amusing actually, and it's like taking the piss, really. Okay, because what we've got now is people, right, and they're working in real life jobs, earning real life money to purchase tangible real life things with their promissory notes, their IOUs that's not backed by gold or silver or anything else. Okay, because it's not there. If we all exchanged our money for resource, for gold or silver, it's not enough. So, there's so many trillions and trillions of pounds and dollars and every other currency that we're talking about figures on a computer screen. The money's not real. Okay, so this is what's happening. All right, you're working. Okay, now this isn't all of you. All right, this is some of you. Hopefully a minority of you. I hope it's a minority, but I know people personally. All right, that in their spare time, in that 8 hours of life that they have on a daily basis, they're on Facebook. Okay, and just an example I know of, and they're playing things like Farmville. Right, so they're working in pretend jobs, clicking and working, and I'm going to come clean. I've done those games. right? They're not satisfying, they're bloody boring, but you do it anyway. It's like, you know, click, 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 click. You know? And people wouldn't like to admit it, but I put it to some of you that if you tot up the amount of time that you're playing these games, right, working on farms, on pretend farms, let's just take Farmville for example, so you don't even know very many of them, but many of you will know what I'm talking about when they're saying Farmville on Facebook, right? You're working on a pretend farm, earning pretend money to purchase pretend things, to grow this empire that's pretend, all for pretend money. And you're working, you're spending your time working and not even getting any sense of satisfaction out of it. So it's like there's slavery, and then in your spare time, your free will time, it's more slavery for nothing. Interesting. Okay, so, right, hear me out, I've got another point to make. Alright, now this gets interesting. This illustrates how money is in real life, okay? The elites. I want to talk about the elites for a moment. The 1%, okay? Now there's big campaigns on at the moment across the world, especially in America. Sparked off on Wall Street. We are the 99%, okay? Who are the 1%? They're the elites. The people with all this pretend money, okay? It's a computer game. Life for these elites is a computer game. This whole real life, what we perceive as real life, to the elites is a computer game, because they're on, like, they are playing the earth like Farmville, okay? And there's like, it's like click, 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 you know, and doing all this stuff, right? And getting like silly figures of money, millions, billions and trillions, but it's just figures on a screen. It's figures on a screen. It's not real. It's too many figures, too many virtual figures, that it's not substantiated with anything real and tangible. Okay? And it seems to be limitless. Now if you or I, right, got a computer screen and just made up out of thin air millions, billions, trillions of pounds or dollars or whatever your currency is, and went out and bought big mansions and yachts and God knows what else, well, it's not going to work, is it? But it works for these guys, the 1%, the elites, right? It works for them. They're playing a big game of Farmville, and we're the characters in the game, and that's how it works. Rather amusing. But I think that what I've talked about is very much how it is. I do.